No, I mean, it's definitely not something that you're, anticipating or something you're used to experiencing. I just taken Antonita out of the game, was getting prepared to put her back in when, my staff was like, hey, you got to stop. And I turned around and I saw her, and then we got, she was definitely struggling right there. I mean, kind of was out of it. We weren't sure what was going on, so we got her on the floor, and just really impressed and thankful for what a great staff we have here. The medical staff was there within seconds. The building staff had people right there for us, kept people away, did what needed to be done. You can tell that they're professionals, and I thought they handled it great. Because it's not like you see this every game where you've had 15 or 20 practice runs, and you hope to never see it again. But I was just so impressed with the building staff and the personnel of how it was all handled.
What's the latest you've heard?
She's right now at the hospital going through tests. She's coherent. She's responding to questions. She's been talking with her family. So, we're not sure. They aren't sure what took place yet, but hopefully by tomorrow morning, I would say we'll definitely know more. They'll probably put her through the gamut of tests to just try and figure out what took place. For the 4 years that she's been with me, we've never had anything like this from her, or have any kind of past history to be able to to call on. So it's just more so just wait and see right now.
Talk about the job your girls did, because oftentimes that can affect that.
It's ironic in a way, because I just was just on the phone at about 4 o'clock with 680 with Will Purdue and Jason that we called, and spent about 20 minutes just talking about our game and what was coming on. And he brought up, as a coach, how do you handle an injury? Because he had been up to do the Bulls games a lot, he was telling me, and, ever since Derrick Rose went down, they just haven't seemed to be able to recover. What do you do when something happens to a player? And I told him, I worked for Paul Sanford for 6 years, and the one thing he taught me is, you've got to get your players refocused and get them to understand that, hey, we're not doctors. So as much as we want to be there for her, we can't solve what's going on, so we've got to let the professionals do that. And then we know what Antonita would want us to do, and that's go out there and compete. And I said, hey, we're going to play a basketball game. It doesn't matter right now if you all want to play or not. They're going to play the game. So let's go out there and compete and do it the way Antonita would want you to. And I thought they really responded. I just don't think people really understand what it took from this group of young ladies to go out there and continue to play like they did, because they're super close. And I'm telling you, and I know what happened to Kevin Ware was horrific. Okay, it was just awful, but he wasn't going through all those convulsions, it looked like, on the floor, and was not responding to anybody what was going on. It was darn right scary. But I was really impressed with how our kids responded from that.